All right, happy Thursday night, everybody, and welcome to the daily broadcast coming to you and emanating forth from the Arctic Air Studios. Today was actually kind of muggy in West Texas. I know it's weird. It's like there was humidity or something like that. I mean, we've even seen dew on the grass the last couple of days. Not used to that. But if your air was not Arctic today, you need to call the bear, callthebear.com. Winter's coming. It is. I've seen the calendar. I can see into the future. If your air conditioning unit wasn't up to the summer, it ain't going to be up to the winter. Call the bear, callthebear.com. Talk to our man Shane and everybody else up there. They'll be happy to help you out. All right, we got stuff going on tonight. Welcome back, National Football League. Kansas City, the Chiefs, hosting the Baltimore Ravens. Not the Colts, but the second incarnation of the Cleveland Browns. That's the best I can do for you real quick on a Howard Cosell. So you got, again, a rematch from the playoffs last year. Pretty good Thursday night opener. Both teams have retooled a little bit. Who you got tonight? You got the Chiefs fighting Patrick Mahomes. You got the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry in that backfield now with three new offensive linemen. It's a 3-point, 2.5-point game. Who you taking tonight? Also tonight, the Leach impact on two programs that'll play each other this weekend. The Mike Leach impact on Texas Tech and Washington State. On the field, off the field, Mike Leach has had a fascinating impact on the world of college football, the world of football. Had, I guess I should say, has had. We're going to look into that tonight and look at what he did for two different programs. Indeed, Craig, the Talking Box is on. Hope you guys are enjoying it, whether you were on Twitter, X, whether you're on Facebook Live, whether you're on YouTube. I want you to share this with your friends and let us know the audio is good, the video is good. Give us thumbs up and everything else. And then, like I said, share it, invite people in. Let's have a great conversation tonight between now and the top of the hour. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. Started your day there today. Gave you some cool stuff to think about. Check out the Raiderland hot links every day. Every day. We slave over a hot internet every morning to bring you the coolest hot links. Brought to you by Gators Bayou tonight in Lubbock, Texas. Hot Cajun food, cold drinks, and a great patio. And do they show the games? Yes, they do. Are they showing Kansas City and Baltimore tonight? When you go out there tonight to Gators, tell them we said hi. Tell them Raiderland sent you. Also, by Jeff Fagan and Fagan's Guided Fly Fishing Trips in northern Mexico, based out of Red River. For my money, there's probably no better time to go fishing than late August to late October, early November. Them German browns getting all fat. Them stocker trout, they don't know what to do with themselves. They're going to hit on anything. Get with Jeff Fagan, and you can find him on our website. You can find him there on our Facebook page, and you tell him we sent you, and you are going to have a great trip. This is a lot of people think, oh, the fishing. No, 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 no. This is when the river slows down a little bit, and all the trout they start thinking, I'm going to die if I don't get fat. I will eat stuff now. Which is kind of like me when I'm at United Supermarkets these days, and I go through and I look and they had, oh, they shouldn't do this. United Supermarkets, by the way, taking care of all the communications that we do here. There's one grocery store in town that supports Texas Tech. There's one that sends money to another school. Yeah, so I'm at Market Street, and they've got not just now cold fried chicken, but cold fried chicken tenders, all cut up for me. Why are you doing this to me? That was unfair. All the Western wear, including this shirt, brought to you by Boot City, 1 money, 7 mile outside the West Loop. It is time to start thinking about a felt hat for the cooler temperatures. And they got great deals right now on all the straws. If you want to buy a straw right now and get ready for the, around here, you can almost wear a straw year round. Go over to Boot City. Cody Wood's going to take care of you. Tell Cody we said hey. All right, let's do it. Let's talk about Kansas City and Baltimore. Who you got tonight? Secondary question. Which NFL team do you root for and why? I want to know the why. And then we'll talk about the Mike Leach impact on Texas Tech and Washington State as they square off, and he will be honored out there on the Palouse. I just like saying the Palouse. Little brother lived out there for many a year. And we'll talk about that. Oh, and Tech announced today, Tech and Colorado game, November 9th, sold out. Wonder why. Why would that be sold out? That's really weird. Jacob or Jakob shared on X, so not sure with whom I shared. Mahomes throwing to X-worthy interested. Yeah, that's a huge dynamic in the Kansas City offense. Make no mistake, he is not Tyreek Hill. He's not going to blow the top off the defense the way Hill did. They're not going to look like that ever again. But I think there'll be a couple of deep shots over 20 yards. They've got to throw it to him. They got to throw downfield. The Chiefs have to loosen up the defense to get some stuff underneath. So that's one of the great storylines tonight. How will the newsworthy? How many targets does he get? I think he gets about 5 or maybe 4 to 6, but 2 over 20 deep. Alan, give me Mahomes in Kansas City to cover. Well, what do you got on the cover? 2.5 or 3? It depends. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson will just old boy Justin Field. Oh, look at him! Yeah, just old boy Justin Field. Jackson said his knees hurt late last year. We'll see. Go through here. Gotta scroll down. Chiefs game is in a weather delay. Thank you for the update. I'm busy. I haven't seen that. Really? Opening night, we got a freaking weather delay. Hopefully it won't last too long. Alan, I root for the future Texas Chiefs. They're not leaving Kansas City, although it would be fascinating if Lamar Hunt brought Kansas City back to where it started as the Dallas Texans. CJ is on Facebook, although Kansas City didn't do well in preseason. All right, let's stop right there. Stop. I believe they'll do well with a win, be a good game to start the season. I hope it's a great game. I think it'll be a close game. I'll give you my score. You give me your score. I'll give you my score. Show me yours. I'll show you mine. CJ says, I root for the Packers because been a fan for a long time back in the early 70s. What made you a fan in the early 70s? Because that was post-Lombardi. That was post-Bart Starr. Really, in the early 70s, the Packers actually sucked for a while. Dan Devine, they went through a couple of different coaches, and it really wasn't very good. Scott, who knows a little bit about Kansas City football, like I said, Hill, remember Hill was a kick returner first. He was a running back that they didn't figure out what to do with, so they made a kick returner. Then they blew the top off. Xavier Worthy just didn't have the flat-out speed. But it doesn't matter. There's only one Hill when it comes to this stuff. All you got to do is utilize Worthy like Hill. It's the threat. It's the idea of having a high safety commanded, and he's got to go. He's got to go with him. And that's going to open up the underneath because Kelsey's got to have help. You got to have help in a lot of areas right now. This is going to be a great game. I really like this game tonight. I think we're going to get a treat. I hope we get a treat. I hope it is a good game for an opener tonight. Depending on where you're looking, it's 2.5, it's 3. Give you mine. Dan Devine gave Rudy a chance. Pox on him. We're a Pax. Chiefs 28-24. Looking at what I wrote down. Fake Natalie Maines might not be the real Natalie Maines. Could be. Don't know. She knows me. I'm kind of famous. Ran like a cow pissing on a flat rock in KC. I'd love to see the Hunts bring the team to Dallas, build a new stadium at the real Cotton Bowl, and watch Jerry Jones self-destruct. Well, it wouldn't be Jerry. It'd be Steven. You got KC minus 2.5. It's going to be tight, snug. If you got KC minus 2.5, I think it's going to be snug. Should be. We'll see. So the early arrivals, you know what to do. Share this, invite your friends in. We're going to talk Texas Tech as we go through tonight, but specifically the impact of Mike Leach on both programs, Texas Tech and Washington State. And he had Obviously, a huge impact on Tech, and he had a big impact on Washington State, which had had some really good teams at different times in the 80s and in the 90s. Drew Bledsoe, going to Rose Bowls, different things like that. But that they had wallered in some really bad times in the late 90s and the early 2000s before he, shows up there in what year was that? 11? Yeah, I think it was 11. So we'll do that tonight. But the teams you root, the NFL teams you root for, why do you root for the NFL team you root for? Because nobody went to the University of Dallas Cowboys. Nobody who plays for the Cowboys basically grew up, and is from Dallas. I would be fascinated if the NFL started a rule that said 75% of your roster has to be within 100 miles of the city you call home. Then I could understand some of the city loyalty. But you're basically rooting for laundry. So which NFL teams do you root for and why? I am basically a man without a team these days still. I root for Patrick Mahomes. I don't know that I root for Kansas City. If Kansas City loses, I don't care. I mean, I want them to win. I want Mahomes to win because I want Mahomes to win. But if they don't win, I don't care. I no longer root for the Packers after the Favre era and the degeneration of Aaron Rodgers. And I think my friend Scott Fitzgerald, who posted earlier, understands. So I'm kind of a guy, I root for good football. I root for good games. I watch Kansas City because of Mahomes, but I'm not going to sit there and tell you I'm a Kansas City fan. So who do you root for and why? Robert Delgado is on YouTube. We love our YouTube people. YouTube people, invite, spread, share the message. Would the NFL encourage a rivalry between those two if they were both in the same city? Can you imagine? Oh, hell yes, they would. The Kansas City market means nothing to the NFL. What do you think the Kansas City market means to Major League Baseball or the NBA or the NHL? Oh, that's right. They're not there. The only reason Kansas City is considered any sort of a major team, major league city, is because the Chiefs are there. If Dallas got two teams, they'd love it. Chicago doesn't need two teams because Chicago has enough rivalry with Green Bay, with Minnesota in that area that they really, the second city, as we call it, doesn't need a second team. But if the Metroplex got two teams, heaven help us, it'd be beautiful. CJ was a Cowboy fan until they did Landry wrong. Now I care less. How much less do you care? My grandmother would jump up out of the grave if I rooted for the Cowboys after Jerry Jones, what he did to Tom Landry. And I ain't going to risk it. She might have been 4'11", but my mamaw would jump up out the grave if I rooted for the Cowboys. You can change teams you cheer for because capitalism rules. Alan is right. I look at professional sports the way I look at restaurants. Serve me good food, give me good service, I'll keep going. But the minute you don't serve me good food, the minute you don't have good service, I have no loyalty to you. What the hell? Why do I have loyalty to you? That's dumb. David Collier is on TV, Channel 28 in Lubbock, or if you're on the myriad of cable, satellite, and other options, it could be different. Host of Red Raider Nation. Dan Devine sounds like one of them heels back during the old Mid-South wrestling days in the 80s. Coming to the Mid-South Coliseum. They're in Memphis, Tennessee. Was that in Memphis? Where's the Mid-South Coliseum? I think it was in the Memphis, right? It wouldn't be Dan Devine. It would be Danny Dan Devine and his lovely ladies of wrestling. And he would come in with a boa. You know what I'm talking about. Be Dandy Dan Devine and his lovely ladies. And he'd be somewhere kind of fancy, maybe Beverly Hills. Wrestling at the Mid-South Coliseum. Fake Natalie Mays. I root for Kansas City because I'm a big fan of Gracie Hunt. Next in line to own the team. I don't think she'll ever get the chance. Uh, David is on Facebook. That's an actual platform and not some sort of drug. We're asking tonight, who do you root for and why in the NFL? Also, give us your thoughts on the game tonight. Give us your predictions. I'll give you my score if you give me yours. And then we'll talk tonight before we get out of here on the impact of Mike Leach. It's the Mike Leach Bowl. Texas Tech and Washington State for the first time since the early 60s when Donnie Anderson beat him once, returning an interception for a touchdown, and then Tom Wilson beat him with another pass. When Jarrah fired Jimmy with the table set for a dynasty because of ego, the NFL became dead to me. Dead to me. Dead to me, Jerry. Randy, they need to put a team in the town of the cow and have a rivalry between the Cowgirls and Neutrofield Arlington. Choctaw Stadium is the old ballpark converted into a high school football field. Actually, that's the home field now, I think, of South Lake Carroll. I'm just kidding. They only play their postseason games there. It just looks weird every time I see a football game being played there. Until Mahomes, I didn't watch the NFL for years. I think there were a lot of people like that. And I think I'm kind of in the same boat with you, David, for different reasons. Although I watched it, I did, but I watched it just because I like watching good football. And most NFL games are close, they're tight, they're exciting, and if you can get past your cowboy glasses for some of you people and just watch it as an entertainment vehicle, which I did for the last 10, 12, however many years since Favre retired, you get woken up to the idea that this is really good stuff. It's actually much better than college football. Most college football games are crap. Most college football games are non-competitive. They're crap. They're poorly played. And you just watch because you have a rooting interest. When you flip that around and you watch NFL games to watch for entertainment, you go, my God, this is great stuff. And that's where I am. And I feel great. I feel liberated. I could take my shirt off. No, wait. No, it's not a different kind of deal. You know? Different deal. Uverse does not have KMAC 28. I have to watch. Switch to the paperclip antenna to watch. That's why it's always there. That's why they had that big ass antenna there at 83rd and University. No, 76 and University. Something just crashed in my kitchen. That sounds really bad. Something just like fell down here at the home office. Robert, I root for the Cowboys because I rooted for them since I was 7 years old. I root for the Chargers because of Dan Fouts, and I also like the bolt on the helmets. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I have an affinity for them. If they would go back to the real Dan Fouts late 70s uniforms, which were better than the baby blue, Bambi, Lance Allworth uniforms. Non-competitive unless you're Tech playing ACU, said Craig. I see what you did there. Will Washington State hang half 100 by halftime? No. It'll take them a full game. That's what Switzer always tried to do when he was coaching. Hang half 100 on Iowa State. Hang half 100 points and 2.5 bottles of wine. No longer cowboy glasses. Became professional sports. In general, you just about need a law school degree to follow professional sports. Not even so. Not even so. You just got to free yourself and just enjoy it for what it is. Oh, it's you? All right, well, settle down in there. Scare the crap out of me. Alan, get YouTube or Fubo and cut the cord, folks. I'm on YouTube TV. Love it every minute, Jerry. I'm out there, Jerry. We're out there. I'm loving it. We're live in the Hyatt kitchen. Yeah, well, something is. Haven't seen a Collier and Lauren Motter newscast in 2 years. Not their fault. DirecTV, Disney, and their greedy pockets. Dude, if you're still on DirecTV, I don't know what to tell you. You can't get ESPN. You can't get Disney. You can't get anything. Get ready to get rid of it. I don't care what you get, but the best thing I did was get rid of it. And I had it for 20 something years. Hold on. I thought there was like food truck food coming stuff. No, I thought you'd stopped and got food truck. No, Frito pie. No Frito pie. No, no Frito pie. You know, it's hard living out here. Fried pie. That was fried pie. Hold on. I read Frito pie. I seriously did. Take it forever to mine. Ah, hell. You're right. That's what it said on the text. Fried pie from the food truck. I thought we were getting Frito pie. Ain't no Frito pie. That's me right here. I mean, yeah, misread it. I was excited. DirecTV was a ripoff. No, it was good in the '90s. DirecTV in the '90s, in the early 2000s, it was a great product. I'm telling you right now, it was. Do you think DirecTV will get rid of Major League Baseball extra innings? Don't know. Don't care. Frito pie is Olton. Absolutely. Get it at the concession stand. If you're officiating a basketball game, always ask first, is Frito pie included or not? Go Mustangs. All right, let's get into Mike Leach Bowl. And I still want to know your thoughts on Kansas City, Baltimore tonight. I'll give you my score before we get out of here. We'll see how close I am. Keep me updated, by the way. Are we still in a weather delay or anything? I mean, we're far enough out from kickoff, 7:20 kickoff, that if they're in a lightning, they ought to be able to get it out there unless something has happened. But the Mike Leach impact. We've talked a lot about the Mike Leach impact on the X's and O's of the game in college football. And of course, it's the outgrowth of Hal Mumme. It's the outgrowth of Mouse Davis. If you want to go back before that, Google up Mouse Davis, and then the outgrowth of that to Hal Mumme. And we see some splitterations in the 80s into K-Gun, into different things. And then we see it kind of, coalesce at Valdosta and then Hal Mumme at Kentucky. And we go from there. So we start that as the outgrowth of what we called the air raid, which nobody runs anymore. And when you hear an announcer say they're running the air raid, the announcer is lazy and stupid and doesn't know football. Okay? They're lazy and stupid and they don't know football. But we've talked at length about the impact that Mike Leach, bringing that to Oklahoma first, and then Texas Tech as a head coach, the outgrowth of that, the impact on Texas high school football and high school teams running it, and now you have actual quarterbacks in the state of Texas 20-something years later who can throw the football, unlike in the 80s and 90s, where we weren't allowed to throw more than 5 passes a game. Hi, I can throw it, coach. No, you got to hand it off. So let's go away from that. And the impact that Mike Leach had on 2 programs from a facilities and an investment standpoint. Now, Texas Tech, he comes in immediately, and the first thing before he signed, and he did not sign the contract, while the press conference is starting, he still hadn't signed it. But one of the things he was adamant about, is getting his recruiting budget tripled. And I talked to a coach who was on the staff for Spike Dykes for many years, and even Sonny Dykes admitted that one of the biggest things he did was getting a commitment on that. Then, and you already had in place in 1999 plans for 2000 and some additions to Jones Stadium. That was already ongoing. But the real big thing became the east side that he got going and getting just more money poured into facilities on the Texas Tech side, that he did that at Texas Tech. But the biggest thing he did was he forced Texas Tech in 1999-2000 to really up the ante on just give me a chance to go recruit. That for whatever reason they wouldn't do it, they couldn't do it. Spike didn't have the juice, didn't matter. But immediately the recruiting budget was tripled under Mike Leach at Texas Tech. And then that led to what you saw. Again, the early phases of Jones Stadium were already in place. He didn't get credit for that. But the East Side, and then what you saw after 2008. Fast forward to the mid 2013, 2014 there in Pullman. And again, they'd already started a construction campaign. They have, I think it's still one of the smallest Division I stadiums at right around 38,000 or 40,000. I'm not sure what they're listing at right now. But as Mike comes in, again, he does a huge effort to increase recruiting budget and increase the stadium, do a stadium build that they had some success. They hadn't had any success in about 10 years or so. And he breathed life into that program. Now he goes to Mississippi State, and he wasn't there long enough to really have any impact on the field or off. That nothing marginally happened there. But the two teams that are playing right now, for Washington State, their modern amenities, they belong to Mike Leach. And for Texas Tech, much of what you see, the impetus was Mike Leach. The next stage was Kirby Hocutt, but everybody hates Kirby Hocutt, and they don't want to give him any credit. But damn near everything else after Mike in 2006 and 8, or 2008 and 10, all of that's Kirby. It ain't Tuberville. It wasn't Kingsbury. Kingsbury did a horrible job fundraising. Didn't want to do it. Didn't want to talk to people. Didn't want to do anything. Matt Wells, again, not long enough. So everything else after that is Kirby Hocutt. But don't give him any credit for it. Don't give him any credit for it at all. But it's fascinating that you see two teams playing that in the last 20 years, much of what they have seen growth-wise is due to one man. His off-the-field achievements, Mike Leach's off-the-field achievements, dwarf what he did on the field. His record on the field was good, not great, not championship. It was good. At times, pretty good, really good. With one great year at Texas Tech. His off-the-field achievements, though, X's and O's, impact game, and impact on two programs, Washington State and Texas Tech, should rank him right up there with the most impactful of college coaches, which we get into the idea, should he be in the College Football Hall of Fame? He falls just below the gradient of winning percentage. I would submit that there ought to be a way to take in other impacts on the game than just the simple winning percentage. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about wins. Yeah, it is. But you look where he was, you look where people are, and I think you can look at certain athletes in Hall of Fames. You can look at certain coaches and say, we need to take it on a case-by-case basis and not have a hard and fast winning percentage rule. Well, it can lead to chaos. I hope it does. Mike Leach would have loved chaos. He enjoyed chaos. But we watched two teams going against each other this weekend that the rest of the country really won't pay much attention to, and that's fine. And we'll try to stay up as late as we can and do what we can. But I would say that you would be hard-pressed to find another coach without winning like multiple. I'm talking a lot like Urban Meyer and people like that, without winning multiple championships, that has had an impact on a couple of mid-level schools, and that's what Washington State and Texas Tech are, mid-level schools that he had. If you can find it, let me know. Get your thoughts before we get out of here. I want your Kansas City and Baltimore score projections and predictions. I'll give you mine, who you root for and why in the NFL, and any thoughts on what I just had regarding the impact of Mike Leach in the Leach Bowl before we get out of here. All right, let's go through here. Do you think DirecTV, Breakfast Tomorrow, Frito Pie? We need to do a broadcast on streaming options. Feels like a good public service we can do. I don't even know what that means. Randy, weather delay. They're so desperate they have Chris Sims doing reporting. My God, nobody deserves that. I root for Mahomes, but I'm a Cowboy fan. Why are you a Cowboy fan? Robert, I just ate a chopped beef from Sutphen's, beautiful Sutphen's barbecue out of Borger, Texas. They used to cater the Caldera Canyon, Texas musical. I don't know if they do that anymore or not. Mike is in the Hall of Fame. All three universities he's coached at. Is he in the Mississippi State Hall of Fame? Really? I didn't know that. YouTube TV is great. I don't know if it's great, but it's better than what I had. I run the only pure air raid on the Madden video game. Craig, I assume that the game is still in a weather delay. They won't get Jason Garrett's Joker smile and Chris Sims' Batman nose off the TV. I'll pray for you people having to watch that. Can you imagine how Leach would do with Joey's recruiting budget? It wouldn't be that appreciably different. He had a good budget compared to the rest of the people, and McGuire's got a good budget right now compared. So apples to apples wouldn't be that much different. Chris, the two Mikes were successful at Wazoo, Leach and Price. Yeah, Mike Price. They're in the 90s. Timbo out of Austin on one of our YouTube people. Glad you're there. Good to see the pirate flag on the helmet this week. Yeah. Although I was never a big fan of the whole pirate thing, whatever, but that's just me. Or RE Red Raiders. We got a mascot. If Sonny hadn't won the bowl game versus Mississippi State, he would have qualified 100%. Okay, I hadn't even thought about that, but yeah, he missed by one game or 2 wins or whatever. Urban Meyer blessed to be at 2 schools with pretty much unlimited resources. Utah, obviously, is what you're talking about. Chris Sims just threw another interception to Roy Williams. He said, kickoff at 7:40 now. Teams on the field warming up. Well, that makes me feel good. And then Robert says, Kansas City 20, Baltimore 17. Game kickoff 7:40 Central. All right. I like Kansas City tonight, and not by a lot. And I'm going against my better nature here because history tells me that Super Bowl champions have a hard time covering the first game out. I got a lot of unknown in this game, and that always makes me lean a little bit contrarian, but I will go Kansas City tonight, 27-24. So if you got Kansas City minus 2.5, you're good. If you got Baltimore catching 3, that's going to be a push, obviously. This seems like a Harrison Butker type last drive field goal that they screw around and, not screw around, but just they play and, all of a sudden Kansas City's like, oh, we got 7 minutes to go. Okay. All right. We should probably do something. I'm more interested to see what both teams do with their new toys. Derrick Henry for Baltimore with 3 new offensive linemen. Xavier Worthy, seriously, again with the Chiefs. How will they utilize him, and how will they make this offense a little more explosive than last year? And I think the Kansas City offensive line is tightened up a little bit, and that should be good too. This just seems like a field goal kind of game. Jan goes 24-17. Big, easy cover right there. Chris, disappointed but not surprised the NFL is still playing in Brazil tomorrow. Yeah, money trumps everything. Safety, everything else. Natalie, fake Natalie, Bro, and Collier are also fans of Gracie Hunt. Well, why wouldn't they be? She's a fine, upstanding young lady. She's involved in the community. Does a lot of charity work. And she'll never have control of the Chiefs no matter what. All right, so I was all excited because I thought I was getting Frito pie, but apparently now I ain't getting no Frito pie. Tomorrow morning on the website, check it out first thing in the morning, theraiderland.com. All right, Everybody familiar with it? TheRaiderland.com. The most Texan thing you have done this week. Tell us what that is. We are trying to grow more Texanness each and every week. Having a ramen? It's like Reed's back home. Most Texan thing you have done. Also, once you guys start posting your score predictions tomorrow morning on the website for Texas Tech and Washington State. Will Taj Brooks play? Will the Texas Tech defense look better? Will the winning team have 50 points? Maybe. You tell us. All that good stuff. Yeah, man. Domino's, except I'm so far outside their delivery area, my man. We got to stop off and get it in town. All right. So check out the website on theraiderland.com. Tonight, share this. I'm going to post it at theraiderland.com. We'll put it back out here. You can post it off Facebook, YouTube, X, Twitter, whatever. See you then. Collier, you could have done more. That's all I'm saying. You could have done more tonight.